With the instrument already calibrated, we can now measure titratable acidity. First, check the end of the pipette for cracks. Then insert it into the pipette filler by first loosening the collar, then holding the pipette right near the end you're inserting, and inserting it gently but firmly, and finally tightening the collar again. The pipette should then be held in place by the pressure of the collar. Next, you can pipette 10 ml of your juice or wine sample into a flask. In this case we're using a beaker, but a conical flask is better to avoid splashing out. Note that at the end of the transfer the pipette is held against the edge of the flask so that the last bit of juice or wine can run out. The sample then has some anti-bumping granules added and is placed on a hot plate. In this instance I've used the magnetic stirring bead as an anti-bumping granule. The solution is heated to drive off carbon dioxide gas which is dissolved in your wine or juice. The sample needs to be held at boiling point for about 10 or 20 seconds to ensure that all carbon dioxide is removed. Don't forget the metal tongs as they'll be quite hot. Once the electrode tip is fully covered by adding our neutralised water, we're ready to start the titration. Note that the sample is best titrated warm to stop the reabsorption of carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere. Note also that the pH climbs only slowly at first, but that as we approach pH 7, the pH change itself is much more rapid. We obviously have to be careful at this point not to overshoot our mark of pH 7. In this case I've not bothered to stop at pH 7, but have titrated directly to the pH 8.3 endpoint. In your experiment you should titrate to both endpoints of pH 7 and pH 8.3.